All right, I want to show you a pretty cool feature that I figured out tonight. So if we go back to our render and we click on environment, even if it's free, we're allowed to add these environmental variables. And what you can do is you can add in, you just type these in, and then you put your values for them over here, okay? You just put the values in and then you save it, save changes. Okay, so you create environmental variables for your database, your host, your password, and your user. Make sure they're all, they all say just like this, exactly like this. And then when you go back to your app, you create first inside in-class render, you create a .env file. And then in your gitignore file, you add the .env so it doesn't get pushed up. And then in this file, just like in this format, you put all of your passwords and all that stuff in this file, and it will not be sent up to the server. Okay, then that's done. But then over here in your init, you would import OS. Okay, and then instead of putting your username and password where people can see it, you just say get me the environment variables. Okay. So os.getEnvironment MySQL host, os getEnvironment MySQL user, so forth all the way down. Now you do need to do a pip install on python.env. So it's actually python-.env, and that will make it so this env variable will work. Okay. And this is what it will look like. So this is the proof that it works. Okay. This connected into the database, even with the local network. It connected into the database with using this method. Now, the cool thing is, the reason why we have to have this one here and this one here is because if you try to run without this .env file, this is pointing to the operating system that it's currently on. So if you run it locally, this has to be set locally. Okay, this doesn't go up to the remote. But when this is on remote, it is going to look using this exact same code for the environment variable inside render, just like which is I just showed you. So if you try to test this locally, which we know is faster, it won't work unless you have this .env file. Okay, and the .env file needs to be outside of the app folder, inside the project folder. Okay, .env. Okay, and then in the gitignore, you just say don't send it up. So when you do the commit, you don't send it up. You want to check both of those; they don't go up. So let's go ahead and do the push. So we can come over here and say push, and let's just see if this works. So it's the fourth commit, and it's going to push up those two things. So I click push. And let's just see if that works. All right, so on the dashboard, it is deploying the newest one. So if I click on it, it just started the fourth commit, and it's doing a little wiggly. We can come over here and click this, and it says it's not working because it's still doing the wiggly. Okay. So we can come over here and click it. Look at the logs. Looks like it's just still deploying. And I haven't actually tested this yet to see if those environment variables will work, but it should if we go to the first one. So it is still doing its little test. Let's just see where it's at. And this is at 10 o'clock at night, so it should just about be done. Come over here and hit refresh. All right, now it says it's live. So let's go over here and see if it's live. And it did work. So if you look at the actual code, there is no, in my iNet, there is no database username and passwords. It's all just exactly what I called it in my environment variables, making it more secure. Okay, so that should work. Took 5 minutes, and that I think is just like an extra bonus for today.